Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, and also sponsored by Paul Fisher with Certainty Home Lending, Bethany Rowan with the B. Rowan Realty Group, Jax Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers,
Ethan Donovan with the Donovan Creative Agency, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, and by Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel.
The Community Difference Frisco was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon, Frisco. Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. We're a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Brian Poduska. I am the owner of Real Property Management Focus right here in Frisco, Texas. We are a full-service real estate company focusing our business with investors who own properties, who need property management services and financial advice when it comes to real estate investing. You are watching episode number 48 of the Community Difference Frisco, and it's a special episode. This is our Thanksgiving episode. So if you've seen us before, we normally have rotating co-hosts who bring on a guest, and those guests usually fit in one of 5 different categories. That is business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, Frisco ISD leadership, nonprofit leadership, or sports leadership, as we are Sports City USA here in Frisco. Today, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to have all of our co-hosts on who can make it today. We have most of our co-hosts on today, really getting together in our Thanksgiving edition here and reflecting on the year, thinking about, the things that have been important to us, the things that we're grateful for, the things that we're thankful for. We're going to have a little bit of fun. It's not all going to be super serious and sappy. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with it too. We also usually have a business topic of the month. We are strictly talking about Thanksgiving and what we've experienced here at the Difference throughout the year. So we're changing that up a little bit, but what we're not changing is having our co-hosts on. So producing today is Mr. Ethan Donovan, one of our co-hosts. Ethan, why don't you start bringing us in one by one and saying hello to the audience? First up, Jax Crider. How are you, Jax?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Good to see you again. This is 2 times in a week, less than a week, or right around a week. So good to see you again. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
You as well. It's always a great time of year. Food, family, fun.
That's
Nothing
right.
better.
Well, that's right. And we are a family here on Community Difference Frisco. So great to see you as member number 1 of our co-host family. Ethan, bring in next up. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
And how are you?
This is 2 days in a row. We just finished our previous week's episode. Had the Frisco PD on and some awesome guests. So good to see you again. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Remind the audience who you are, what you do.
Hey, everybody. So I am a travel advisor with My Live, Love, Travel. So if you're looking for something as simple as an all-inclusive in the Caribbean or, personalized, curated trip to Europe, I'm your girl. Focus on luxury, Europe, Caribbean, Hawaii, and specialize in all those areas and would love to make your vacation dreams come true.
All right, thank you. And I'd be remiss if I didn't let Jax remind the audience who she is and what she does. I just jump right to it. So,
It's
Jax,
okay.
tell everybody
It's
who
all
you are.
right. No, I don't mind. So my name is Jax Crider, and I run PBJ Mortgage, where we are making mortgage simple as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And with that simplicity actually comes the launch, and I know you guys promoted it yesterday, which I very much appreciate, of my first book. And so it's called Mortgage 101, The Secret Sauce to Home Buying. And so my goal is just to try to, make people's dreams a reality when it comes to the home ownership side. So.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I apologize for not letting you do that up front, but as a
I'll
best-selling
forgive you
author,
just the one time.
yeah, I mean, as a best-selling author, we get to come back to you. So, all right, next up. Who's up next, Ethan? Debbie Watson. Hi, Debbie. How are you? You're on mute.
I am fabulous on this nice Friday.
Awesome. Well, good to see you again. And please tell the audience who you are, what you do. Remind them.
Awesome. So, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, where I'm passionate about fostering financial literacy through education and comprehensive solutions. My goal is to empower individuals to take control of their finances, redeem their lives, and achieve true financial freedom. We all want that. So,
yes, we do. Well, thank you for that. And who we got up next, Ethan? Meena, how are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise. So again, we just finished our episode a couple days ago. So welcome back. Good to see you. Please remind the audience who you are and what you do.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. So I am a college consultant. I am an IEP. I help kids get into their dream college, help families through the high school journey and take the stress out. I'm an author myself, also just like Jax. My book is Are You There Yet? The Ultimate Road for Your Child's Success. And I am also a robotics coach and mentor for a lot of ISDs for robotics teams.
That's awesome. I love that.
I tell you, we've got more best-selling authors on the show, I think, than most national podcasts. So
yeah, we're going to have to catch up with all these people. Goodness.
Sure.
Absolutely. All right, Lauren, where's the book about travel? Come on, Debbie.
Right.
Let's book about finance.
Anecdotes.
You're in some good company here for sure. All right, who we got next, Ethan? There's the man, Paul Fisher. What's up, my friend?
Man, I feel like I just saw you last night.
Oh, wait,
we
you did.
I did. We had a good speed networking group last night and trivia night over at the Hotel Indigo at Frisco. I have to give a shout out to Jackie over there. She took good care of us. So had a good group and got to see you partake. I see that you did not win trivia last night.
No, we fell one question short, but it was a great time. It was a very unique way to do networking. I had a great time. It was a blast. So
yeah, I had my friend Brittany Welch MC it because she does such a great job. It's a completely different format than what you thought. So glad you were there and glad you had a good time.
Yeah, good times for sure. Remind the audience who you are, what you do, Paul.
Well, my name is Paul Fisher. So like Jax, I am a residential and investment mortgage lender. So, we'll do residential and investment properties. We also do the highly sought after fix and flip. So if you're looking to be the next Chip and Joanna Gaines and want to get on fixer upper and, short term, quick rehab loans, we've got those available to do either for houses or we'll do commercial, multifamily, multi-unit. I mean, go find it and we'll fund it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And Ethan, I think you are probably the last man up, but not least, and wearing multiple hats today. So thank you for producing our show. Introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself to the audience, please.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. First of all, my name is Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency, where we specialize in social media marketing, graphic design, video editing, and videography. Absolutely excited to be on today's show. I think we got a good host background ecosystem coming on today. So I'm excited because I haven't been able to co-host with everyone just yet. So a little bit of different atmosphere.
Well, it's the opportunity for all of us to get together as one big Frisco Community Difference family. And I truly do feel like you guys are part of my family. And I mean that. We've been through, a full year almost of shows. We're episode 48 here. Think about the number of people that we've gotten to meet throughout the year, right? And all the great interactions that we've had, and we don't just interact here on the screen. A lot of us get together in various different networking groups together, but the ability to meet all of your wonderful guests throughout the year has been a privilege of mine. So I will say thank you to you guys for being co-hosts with me along this journey so far. So what I want to do real quick, since we do have sponsors to give some love to, before we get all sappy and serious on you, let's give some love to our sponsors. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about what the difference has done for us and what it's the impact that it's made in our lives. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun talking about some bloopers that we've had along the way. And we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But Ethan, go ahead and take us to commercial break. We'll be right back.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher with Certainty Home Lending, Bethany Rowan with the Beer Rowan Realty Group, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies, Jacqueline Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Ethan Donovan with the Donovan Creative Agency, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, and by Lauren Gill with My Live, Love, Travel. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time.
Because it's time for... You caught it, Ethan. Nice job. Normally, that's our What's Up Frisco sounder, but we are going to talk about what's up with the difference, right? So what I wanted to do is just kind of get your guys' thoughts and feelings about really the difference that the difference has made in your lives. And I could go on and on about it. I've been with the difference since its inception. Lennon created the Difference radio live stream and podcast organization 5 plus years ago now. I was together with him in the infancy of it when we were literally broadcasting out of an actual radio studio, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, when COVID rolled around and forced us to move to more of an online format, it opened up a lot of different doors for us. And really, it's taken off since then as we've gone through various different formats, and we have the Community Difference format that we're expanding now. So it's been awesome for me to be a part of this from the inception of it. And I know a lot of you folks have joined at various different times. So I love hearing the different perspectives from folks who've been here for a little bit longer to those who are newer to it, and why you guys joined. So I'm going to throw it out there to you guys, and I'm not going to call on anybody per se yet. That may happen a little bit, but
Brian, we're kind of used to that. We're used to, now you have 4 ladies on there, so you have to pick out who goes first. I knew I was going to be last, so I just have to, kind of formulate my answer. So now I thought I was going to have time.
That's right, Paul. You get a break now, because I always say ladies first. That's the normal chivalry that we carry on the show. So with that, I will throw it out ladies first. And any one of you ladies, if you'd like to kick us off with, what has the difference meant to you personally over the last year or so?
I'll start. So actually next month will be a full year when I started the difference. And it really has been life-changing. It really has for me. I enjoy the whole concept of getting to know people in your community. And when I came on board, that's what I did. I used this to meet new people and meet and have relationships. And it really has. I've met almost 12 new people, a lot more, but 12 because of the show. And, it had this rippling effect. I had Cindy Flores on, who introduced me to Meena, and now Meena is, going to be my first co-host when we launched Little Elm, and she and I have become great friends. And then to know Ethan, being with his co-host, he and I do together is just built a great relationship. We've learned from each other. I've learned from him, and Jax and Lauren are some of my best friends. So, it's just the great family that we built here. And then all the knowledge that I've learned from Lyndon, just the business development truly has transformed my thought process from being transactional to being relational, and it's been a fun year. It's been an awesome fun year.
I love that.
I'm
I
an
love all
observer.
those things. And so
Yeah,
no, I just wanted to say I love that. And the feedback that I'd give you, Debbie, I've known you longer than you've been on The Difference. We're in a lot of the same networking groups, and I just want to say the personal growth that I've seen from you externally has been amazing, and just in multiple different ways, the way you interact with people, the confidence that you've built in larger group settings, and everything that goes with that has been a joy to see from the outside looking towards you. So I appreciate your partnership, and I just wanted to give you that feedback as well.
1,000%.
Yeah. So Lauren, I know you were chomping at the bit, so you're up next.
I was chomping at the bit mostly though to like reflect on what you were just sharing about Debbie. It's like as an observer and a friend of Debbie's since before she joined The Difference, just again want to mirror what Brian said. Just the growth that I've seen in you has been so exciting, and it's been very inspiring for me as well to just stretch myself. So in regards to what The Difference has done, I am challenged like every day with what I'm learning, both through like the things behind the scenes that everybody else don't get to see, as well as just being on the podcast. I'm a believer in doing things that make you uncomfortable and that are a little bit scary. And so even being on the podcast each week, I have butterflies in my stomach, and there's some nervousness and apprehensiveness that goes with that. And then I'm always like excited. It's like a roller coaster ride. And so it's just that exhilaration and knowing that there's growth that's happening and knowing that I'm stretching myself has been pretty awesome.
Well, I love that, because I mean, there's not a single one of us, I don't think, that's on The Difference now that had previous podcasting experience. I could be wrong in that, but I know I didn't. So when I started, like I said, 5 years ago, I had those same feelings, Lauren, where and we did it in a live studio. So you're entering an environment that you've never been in before for your first time. And you know that you're going live on this podcast. And I had that fight or flight syndrome thing where you're like, and talk about getting out of your comfort zone. That's exactly what I experienced those first, and I'm on every week, but it's still, you get that little adrenaline rush, right? So love that share. That's awesome. And I love that stretching aspect of growth. You don't get to grow if you don't stretch yourself. So love that. Jax, what's up with you?
Well, I was just gonna say, first of all, I agree with Debbie's growth. It's been like such an incredible, cool thing to like see. I think we all have kind of grown, and that's maybe why we're such a family, right? It's like we've kind of sat here and like grown together as we've done all kinds of activities together, the podcast together, and all of the things, right? I joined the podcast because I was like, okay, I wanted to start my own, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was like, well, I'll get some good information under my belt. I'll kind of try to figure it out. And it was so much more than I ever expected, right? That it was the ability to grow a community, to, I'm always the person who likes to go deep with people. So I don't always do great with the surface level networking, because I always want to learn more about like who they are and what makes them tick and how that all operates. And that's not exactly usually what you do in a first meeting with people, but we get to do that, right? Like we get to find out how that works for them. And such a cool way to be able to showcase, local businesses, community leaders, getting to know each other more, and then just helping people in a unique way. right? Like helping them learn more about their business, because I'm a big advocate for getting in rooms where the thinking outthinks you. And if you're not challenging yourself to level up, which is what we're doing on every single show with every single person we try to bring on, I mean, what are you doing, right? Like you got to be constantly learning, constantly developing. So I'm just thankful for Lendon for creating the platform, allowing all of us to be a part of it. And it really has like changed so many different things in my life, I'll say.
Love it. Love that. And the growth, we talked about the growth too. And Jax, I haven't known you quite as long as I've known Debbie, but just in the period of time that you've been on, the difference and the amount of involvement that you've had and just diving in. Heck, you wrote a book. I know you do your own podcast. Talk about stretching yourself and growing. I've seen that tremendously over the last year and a half or so. So, kudos to you and everything that you've done over the last year and a half. All right, let's go over to Meena. I think our newest member of the difference. Tell us about what the difference has meant to you and what caught your attention to come join the family.
So it was great meeting Debbie, and that's how I got into it. And I came as a guest, and I really liked what you guys were doing. And I agree with Lauren very much when she said that I just want to challenge myself. I get bored very quickly. So I've worked as a professor in Collin County. I've worked as a teacher in Frisco ISD. I'm a realtor. I've got license for financial insurance. I've written a book. So I keep challenging myself. How can I do it? I had my own learning center we had 7 centers across DFW. I sold it off after COVID because it was really, we were just paying mortgages for the empty learning centers. So I'm a college consultant right now. So I just like to challenge myself, and I'm very thankful. And I feel I've known each of you, though I've just met you online or, met you once or twice, but I felt like it's a family. I really like the environment, and I'm hopeful, and I'm sure that I learned so much more here because I believe in constant learning, and that's why I joined it.
Awesome.
Love that.
Here.
Love that. And I love that.
Buckle up. We're going to learn all kinds of things.
We've all learned to do a little bit of podcasting along the way, but you're right. Based on who we bring on the show, and inevitably, the business topics that we talk about, inevitably we're going to learn. And that's one of the things I love about being the host is that I get to participate in that learning every single week. So that's awesome. Ethan, I know we've got to take a commercial break. So we've done the ladies. Let's go to the gentlemen next after our commercial break. And then I want to talk about the not so fun side of being a co-host, the bloopers that we all inevitably have done.
Things go wrong on the live show.
So stay tuned for that. Ethan, take us away to commercial. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
We are Cloud Staff, enabling remarkable growth for businesses everywhere with our pioneering enterprise-grade remote work solutions. We are on a mission to help business owners scale while reducing costs by matching you with an amazing staff, mobilizing your team, and helping manage business performance, making us the #1 workplace as remote work gets done. Connect with us to access the world's top talent and discover how we can enable remarkable growth for your business.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. If you haven't seen us, or if you haven't seen the previous part of the show, we are the Community Difference Frisco, and we are in the Thanksgiving episode. So we have all the co-hosts of the Frisco Community Difference on today, as you can see on the screen. And we are sharing right now about, what the difference has brought to us personally over the last year or so. So we've gone through the ladies. Let's do the gentlemen next. Paul, you have been with the difference, I guess, the second longest, I guess, if you're looking at
I'm finishing out my third year. So, I met you and Lyndon, I think at the beginning of 22. So I'm trying to count my years, what year we're in. But we started, we had the Frisco show going for a little bit, and then we put a pause on that, and then we started doing like a business, business show. And so it's been kind of fun to see it, develop. I mean, when we picked up Wiley, and so I was hosting Wiley, 2 shows a month, and then doing Frisco as well. And so it's been a great growth opportunity for me. I mean, Lyndon, I noticed something that Jax said. Hey, I want to do my own podcast. And, when you see what Lyndon has created on this thing, you're almost happy that you don't have your own podcast, because I can't imagine having to tie up all the, everything that goes into it as far as, streaming and, and no cuts in service, and the flow and the topic and, all the graphics and everything else. I mean, the quality of the product is a definite benefit of being on this. All you have to do is get a guest, prepare, and make it an entertaining show. And Lyndon really has the hardest job. So I have a whole lot of respect for him, and you as well, Brian. I mean, and Nathan. I mean, y'all are kind of the three, the 3 pillars of this thing that kept it going. They are definitely the OGs. I mean, I thought I was an OG, but I mean, I'm not really. I mean, there's plenty. Like Jim Thomas is another one that was, with us in the very beginning, in my beginning, 3 years ago. So, Stephen Pine, there's a lot of good ones that came before, and it's exciting to see where it's going. And you got Ethan down there. I mean, Ethan, I think when he hosted his first show on one of ours for Frisco, and man, he killed it. I mean, it just, I hate to say it, but he's kind of better than some of the regulars. So, just his growth, and, like everyone said, I mean, you get to kind of see everybody, start and end. It's a great platform to gain confidence and expand your footprint, and really, find the value of being involved in your community.
Yeah, I love that. And, as I guess, an OG, if you will, it ages me a little bit, because I've been here second longest. Lyndon founded the thing, but I was on episode 1 back when it started. And it's been amazing to see where we started and where we are now. And I know, because as I've been an OG, I've been involved in the growth of it, and I know where we're going, and that really energizes me. We've got some major sponsorship opportunities that I'm excited to announce. I can't do it yet, but I know we're there, and I'm fired up about it. So,
well, that would be your blooper for today if you let the cat out of the bag. So,
that's right, and that could be a career limiting move. So I'll try to avoid that blooper.
Right along.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, when I was kind of going through my little spiel, I mean, because you said bloopers earlier, and when I was doing, Wiley and Frisco, I think I opened up the Wiley show with my run sheet for Frisco, and so that was my bloopers. And I started going through Wiley, but I was saying, Frisco, what's up, Frisco? And, I don't know who my co-hosts were, but I mean, Lennon was over there, texting me and chatting in the chat box and remember what town you're in. And the funny thing about that is when I did Wiley, I would broadcast out of the Wiley Chamber of Commerce. So, I mean, sometimes you just forget where you are. But yeah, I was right there in the heart of Wiley, talking all about Frisco.
Well, when you wear multiple hats, it becomes a challenge to remember exactly where you are and what. I know that feeling very well. Well, Paul, it's been an awesome journey, and it's been great having you alongside for the last 2.5 years. So we appreciate that. Ethan, I'm going to kick it over to you as the youngest member of the Difference, a man wearing multiple hats as well, producing and co-hosting. What has the Difference meant to you over the last year?
I think for me, it's just the connections that I've made and everyone I've got to meet. I think that's the number one thing that has not only improved myself, but I think everybody in here. I think we all push each other to be better. And how about my co-host? Okay, my co-host, awesome. I mean,
can we give him a shout out for the fact that he's the youngest member and he always has insights that are well beyond his years? And can I have had that insight 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so true.
But I'm very thankful for the Difference just because I've got to meet so many great entrepreneurs and friends. And I think that's what really sets us apart from any podcast. And not only are we as co-hosts all friends, but just the guests we bring on, we all connect, not even only just over the podcast, but also in person. And we always better ourselves there too. And to add on top of that, just everything we're doing with the BDAs, the happy hours, just that constant connection making that we always do. I think it just goes to show that we're all on the same page and we're all just like family. And I'm very thankful for that. And then obviously we go into the BDAs and we have such good, deep conversations about several topics, not just branding, not just, the backside of things, but we look at business as a whole. And then we look at this podcast as a whole. And we all have our own different umbrellas. But for this to be one of them, for myself at least, and for everybody else in here, that's probably the number one thing that I'd say is the difference maker for me.
Awesome. I love that. Well,
such a good, excellent speaker.
I was gonna say again, look at this. I wish I could speak like that at his age. Where would I be now?
I'm going to say it now. We're all jealous of Ethan's radio voice. So, we all wish we could have Ethan's radio. No, I mean, I've hosted this show for the last year, and we had, as Paul mentioned, we had a few, I guess, call it special editions of the Community Difference Frisco. But having this going for the last year has been awesome. I've been privileged to be the host of the show. And I'm thankful to all of you guys. As I look back, I've said it before, and I can say to each person on the screen, I've seen you all grow individually, and we've grown as a community. My favorite part about being the host of this show is watching that evolution of the folks who are active participants in the show, and really seeing the evolution of where we started, where we are now, and I know where we're going. And like I said earlier, that drives me, that excites me. So I'm excited to be, part of it here, specifically in Frisco, but across all the communities as well. I couldn't be more optimistic about where we're heading, knowing that we've got some big partners coming on board. And we've already had great partners to begin with, and now we've got bigger ones coming on board, and I love it. I love everything about it. So a huge thanks and shout out to you guys for making that happen. With that being said,
great leadership, just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
appreciate that, but it's a team effort. It's not, we're all part of this team, and I couldn't be along with better teammates and be along for the ride. So thank you. With that, I want to get to the fun part, the bloopers, baby. We all have them. Part of the unique aspect of the difference, right, is we're not a curated podcast that we record 2 hours of content and then go back and filter out the best 15 minutes of it. We have live shows every single week, which means along with being live is we stumble over our words. We have technical difficulties. We have challenging guests who don't necessarily follow the prep work that we've done with them, because we do prep work with our guests. While we're not a scripted show, we do have an agenda and we do prep work. So we're a professional organization, but along with being a live show, we have bloopers. So I'm going to throw it out to you guys. I want each one of you, and Meena, you may get off the hook on this one because you've only been on a few shows, but the rest of you are not off the hook. I want to hear, and since I've lived through some of them, I want to hear what your favorite blooper over the last year has been. Who wants to start?
I think Jack should start.
Favorite?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Favorite.
I don't know about favorite.
Right.
But I may or may not have had a guest
most memorable
who just did this for about 30 minutes on the show, just staring at the phone as if no one else existed, as if we weren't live, broadcasting to all avenues of the whole entire world. I was mortified, but also not going to ruin the show to the best of my ability. So that was fun for me. I love that.
Yeah, that's a good one. You can do all the coaching and prep work that you can do, but sometimes people don't necessarily follow your lead. So,
exactly.
Yep,
well,
that's a good one.
I'll go next because it made me so appreciative of Brian and looking at what it means to be a host, because what happens when you have someone like Jax did, and you as the host are the one that are trying to bring it back. I was hosting one of our shows. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. And one of the guests was literally bad mouthing in the What's Up Frisco part. Well, through the whole thing, honestly, it was a nightmare. And bad mouthing his town through the whole thing.
Well, for the record, it wasn't What's Up Frisco. It was a different.
No, and I remember that because I think that was like the first show of the year. I know exactly what show that
was literally, I was like cringing my hand, was texting Lyndon, and I'm trying to get control and be quiet. And literally, I finally got to where I never asked him any more questions because it would just go down this rabbit hole, and he would go on and on and on with so much negativity. And so that was my second time. I went from a huge success for my first hosting to wanting to kill myself after that. So that was mine. That was my big bloopers. And no, it wasn't.
Did you enjoy it? Did you love that?
I did not enjoy it.
Love it.
I did not enjoy it. I needed a stiff drink after that one.
Well, I can I'll share mine because as a host, yes, you're on your toes all the time, and you're responsible for guiding the conversation. And most of the stuff that I do, at least in the beginning of the show, it's just kind of like rote memory, right? Like a lot of it is I've done it before. It comes fairly easily now, but it just happened recently. I think it was 2 shows ago. Maybe it was our last show. I can't remember, but sometimes, and we've all had this, right? Where your brain just takes a big brain fart, right? Where you're just like, you're thinking about what you're going to say, and you've got multiple things going on in your mind, and you just completely forget someone's name.
Yep.
Well, I did that with one of our co-hosts, Tracy Churchman. She's not on today because she has the Best Buddies Gala that she's putting on tonight, and I totally blanked on Tracy's name. So I officially apologize to her that day, but I'll do it again now. Sometimes that happens. Your brain just goes completely blank, and
I was going to say, I was on that show, and I looked at you.
I have a hard time believing that you forgot. Yeah, I can't believe, because you're friends with Donnie, And so, I mean,
Well-
it's not like you don't know them.
No,
Well,
the funniest
and-
part was he like looked like, did I say the wrong name? And I was like, Ryan, what the heck? You know her name.
Well, the ironic part about it is I've known Tracy, I think, the longest of anybody on the show, longer than I've known Lyndon, right? So, I mean, our kids played baseball together when we both moved to Frisco 12, 13 years ago. So there's absolutely no reason or excuse for forgetting Tracy's name, of all people. But, you know, it goes to show when you've got multiple things going on in your mind and you're trying to run a show, the craziest things happen. So that was my blooper. And yeah, you just own it.
But
and
did you enjoy it?
100% not. Nope.
Right. It's his favorite blooper.
Hey, I was gonna say he asked us what our favorite.
Well-
whatever. And I was like, are most of your
Right.
mistakes your favorite? Like,
So
Right.
with me being the host, I have so many to fall back on. Probably more recency bias for me. Yeah, that's not necessarily my favorite, but it's the most recent one, so that's why I brought it up. All right, who's next? Who wants to go next?
I already did mine.
Um,
I did mine
my-
about not knowing what town I was in. So somebody
right.
else.
You're off the hook. So Lauren, that means you're up.
My first episode as co-host on Plano, my Wi-Fi kept dropping in and out. So literally it was almost like being in a rolling brownout. So it kept going on and off, and I'd start to answer a question and then I'd disappear again, and then I'd come back and then I'd disappear again. And I felt so bad for my guest, who's like a dear friend, an interior decorator and designer that was on there. And I mean, Lyndon and Nathan were very gracious and kind about that situation. But I was like, oh my gosh, I hope every episode is not like this for me. And I'd done everything right. Like I'd shut everything down. I only had this happening and had no idea what happened. But it was mortifying.
Yeah, I think we can all relate, because at some point we've all had technical difficulties at some point. The beauty that and what I love about being on a show that has multiple people on it and multiple folks who can take the reins. There's everybody, somebody is willing, and everybody's willing to pitch in, and somebody does. So Jax, I know you did that for me, probably a handful of shows ago, where I was having, and I rarely have technical difficulties because I have a nice, a large office that has really good, stable Wi-Fi. But, for whatever reason that day, it wasn't working that great, and you jumped right in and helped. So it goes to show the team aspect comes through when we have those technical difficulties.
I was gonna say, sometimes you just gotta work through it. It is what it is. As you say
That's
all the
right,
time,
for
what
sure.
you see is what you get. Here it is.
Right.
Real life.
Or if you're hosting, you can type in and say, "Lyndon, take us to break," and then you can save yourself.
Yes. That is
True.
hope. Ethan, what do you got, my friend?
Nothing's really happened on me and Debbie's podcast like ever. Like we didn't really have a lot of just crazy.
See,
I'm gonna be
you know
honest.
what's
I
gonna
mean,
happen. It's gonna be Murphy's Law now.
listen, I know, I'm putting it into existence.
You better
putting it
knock
into
on that wood
existence.
head of yours.
But my camera did just overheat 20 minutes ago, so that was great. That's awesome. I don't know how
There you
much
go,
longer
your
you'll be
blooper.
seeing me for, but
Yes, yeah, it makes it. Yeah, what have you been filming?
Yeah.
Whoa, Paul, this is a family show, okay? Family show.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian said anything goes.
we laid back on the cussing a little bit. But as far as everything else goes, I mean, it might be fair game. I don't know yet.
I was gonna say, I have to say one of my favorite bloopers, but it did not happen to me, was the episode where the guest was like packing while it was happening, and so they were like moving around on their cell phone. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Anybody watch
Yeah.
the episode? And I was like, what are they doing? And it was like the live show was happening and they were packing, and I was like, that's a choice.
Yeah. And part of those, we take the bloopers as learning lessons to, coach our guests and make sure that they find a nice quiet place and things like that. So some of our bloopers lead to improvements in the show, that's for sure. And one of what you brought up, cussing and cursing, I used to be a very, very often offender of that. So I've been reprimanded.
Sailor-like.
Yeah, I've been reprimanded to say my freedom of speech is somewhat, handcuffed a little bit, but that's okay. Like you said, it's a family PG-13 show, so I
Right.
can get away with some
Growth opportunity.
Yep, that's right. So, we learn from our mistakes. Meena, I'm going to throw it to you only if you want to share. I know you've only been on a few shows, but if there's anything that sticks out to you, being on a live show, have you had any bloopers?
I think I saw one when somebody one of the guests was just on the phone. I think that's what we were talking about earlier. And then I think yesterday, the show that we had, I don't know, I think I did a blooper myself because I asked something which I could have waited for the next break. I think that's I think it's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a blooper. That's just a, first time on and not quite, understanding the flow of how it goes. So that I wouldn't consider that a blooper, but
Okay.
no, I like that. That's a good example as we.
But I was beating myself to it. Like, why did I say it? Why did I say it? I was like,
Yeah, no. That's part of, never having podcasted before, that we've all gone through that. So that's absolutely not a blooper. That's just you learn it and that's how we learn. Right.
Thank
so,
you
all right. Well, I think we've all shared our bloopers and I guarantee you there's more to come. So, as they present themselves, we may, anybody who listens to The Ticket, it's one of my big radio stations that I listen to. They always say mark after they've had like a comment that they want to mark. So our producers, we may have to just pull some of these bloopers and put together a highlight reel. Maybe we'll do that for a year-end episode as we go forward in the evolution of the show. But well, that's it. Had some fun with the bloopers. Part of the show, right, is we're live, we're authentic, and of course there's going to be bloopers, and we stumble over our words and all that stuff. So I love that aspect of the show, and I hope the audience can relate to that as everyday conversation. Things don't always come out of your mouth the way they intended, and what you have up here doesn't always come out your mouth how you intended it to. So. That's how we present ourselves in real life, and that's how we present ourselves on the show. So, one of the things I love about it. With that being said, let's cut to our last commercial break, and we'll get into more of our personal thoughts about Thanksgiving coming up here after the commercial break. So, take us away, Ethan. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
Okay, welcome back. Final segment coming up here, guys. We got about, about 10, 12 minutes, something like that. I just want to kind of bring it back to more personal and more Thanksgiving conversations, and just, go around the horn and let's talk about Thanksgiving and kind of what it means to you tradition-wise. Do you guys have a family tradition that you stick to? Are you looking to start a new family tradition? What are you most thankful for this year? So any of those questions are in play here, and I'll let you guys pick what you want to talk about. But Thanksgiving wise, let's go around the horn, and I'm going to go around the screen here. So we'll start with you, Debbie. What does Thanksgiving mean to you, tradition wise, personally, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so to me as family, we have my grown daughters and their husbands and my 4 grandkids and their dogs. So we have 6 adults, 4 kids, and 3 dogs all running around. And it's funny, we each bring what we're used to bringing, what we like, because I always make the cornbread dressing. That was something that my mom taught me how to do. Haven't changed the recipe like I've done most of everything else when I get recipes, because you just got to make it. And, actually this year I've always made the turkey. Tara, my oldest daughter, got a smoker, so we're having a smoked turkey. But you still have to have the sweet potatoes, which she does, because we don't like. And my other daughter, she has this specialty that she makes. So we just come together, we eat, we watch football, and then we end the night with games until way into the midnight, and now that the kids are older, they're teens and preteens, they're doing the games with us instead of before they would be doing their stuff. So it's just, I love those times. We're all together. We eat too much, but we have a lot of laughs and a lot of little drinks too. So makes it fun.
Love it. What's a game of choice?
Now that all of them play, all the big kids, we play spoons.
Oh, nice.
That's a dangerous game. That's a dangerous game.
Because, last year, I think Taylor, my son-in-law, was across the table and took it away from his own daughter.
Well, when you get drinks involved and you're playing spoons, that's a recipe.
We're all pretty competitive. We're all very, very competitive. So,
That's be a recipe for one of our sponsors, an ER visit, right? All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Debbie. What about you, Paul?
Repeat the question. Sorry. So there's my blooper. I mean, I got mine for today. So what am I most thankful about Thanksgiving? So, some of you, I know you do, Brian. So in my previous life, I was in hospitality for 27 years. And so I was unable to be around for Christmas or Thanksgiving or any holidays. And so, for me, it's being, it's taking part of something that I was always unable to be a part of. And so, and it could be, it's the simple things in life really that, that make the biggest impact for me. So, for 27 years, I missed everything. And so, that's what I'm thankful for, is that I get to, spend time with, family and, nieces home from college and things of that nature. So I'm just, glad to not be sweating in the kitchen somewhere. So that's my thankful thing.
Love it. Well, that's part of what business owner and entrepreneurship does for you, is creates a little bit of flexibility in schedule. Sometimes you feel like you're in prison, but at the same time, you can at least dictate your own schedule. You're not, shackled to a kitchen.
No, I mean, I've always had, my years in the club, in the clubs, I always had, cook for everybody else's family and not my own. So thankful that I get to, give back a little bit to my crew.
Love that. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Paul. What about you, Ethan?
You're welcome.
For me, I'm probably just thankful for my family as well. I mean, sooner than later, I think my siblings plan on moving away. And so I'm the last bird in the nest. So sooner than later, everyone's going to fly away, and it probably won't be the same anymore. So just kind of looking back, enjoy it while you still have it. And then tradition wise, we always play games. We eat a big buffet right away. Sometimes it's Portillo's. Sometimes we
bring it on,
we cater
baby.
in Portillo's, and then my mom will decide. We also cater in a pizza from Iowa called Happy Joe sometimes. Awesome. They have a taco pizza to die for. And then we play games afterwards, and whoever wins those games gets gift cards to a bunch of different places. So we're always battling for gift cards and to see who can get the most gift cards.
Oh, wow. I'm coming to your house to play games.
I was going to say, that sounds fun. I'm coming to
Yeah,
your
they're having cheesesteaks and gift cards. I mean,
right.
Wow.
You have me at Portillo's. Save a spot at your table.
You're going to have to set a few more place settings, Ethan, okay?
Well, thanks, Ethan. Appreciate that. Jax, you're up next.
I would say that like one of the traditions that we kind of do for Thanksgiving is we sort of take in whoever didn't necessarily have a place for Thanksgiving. So like over the years, that may have been like family members that are kind of like those fringe family members, like random cousins or aunts or uncles that you don't really see or involved with, but maybe their family lives far away or something like that. And then when my brother was in college, we had a couple of Chinese exchange students join us for Thanksgiving because they have nowhere else to go. And then I've had friends over the years who've been really far away from home for Thanksgiving. So they've come and they've joined us. So I just kind of like involving other people and having, food, lots of great food and lots of great people around. Like this year we're doing like my brother's in-laws and then my whole family, and we're all converging onto one household and kind of being one big happy family. I just feel like, food and family and fun is sort of what Thanksgiving's all about, right?
Yeah, love that, and love the fact that you you provide that opportunity for folks who may be far away from their family. That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, there's nothing worse than like having a holiday and either trying to prepare it only for yourself or just, not having anywhere to go, like feeling just kind of alone. So that's just sort of my family. We just sort of take in whoever and make them a part of our family.
Love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jax. How about you, Lauren?
Jax, it's so cool that like the families are combining. When I was growing up in Virginia, both sides, like I was always baffled by like why people had to go to different houses for holidays because our family like always got together. Thanksgiving looks kind of different every year for us. My family's small. There's only a few of us here locally. And so last year we actually went to my bestie's house and her parents, which was nice because there was a lot of energy with all the people there. And I'm friends with her, obviously, and her family. And the kids said it was like their favorite Thanksgiving they've ever had. So we're actually going to do that again this year. I'm going to bring my grandpa's sausage stuffing, which is, a tradition in our household. And they had never had it before. They were used to the cornbread stuffing. And so they enjoyed that like change of pace.
Love it.
You mean cornbread dressing. Sorry. We're from the South.
Listen, I'm from Virginia. It's the South too. But no, you're right.
I'm just teasing you.
And I'm sorry, stuffing having it inside the turkey is better than baking it in the oven. I don't care what they say about salmonella and all of that nonsense. Nobody ever gets sick from eating turkey stuffing. It's not a real thing.
Another thing I got to add on though is that ham is better than turkey on Thanksgiving.
I agree.
How would you know, Ethan? You're eating sub sandwiches
for Easter.
We still got some ham in there.
He's over there eating hot dogs and cheeseburgers for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, ham is for Christmas. That's how we
Easter.
do it.
Ham's for Easter.
No, ham is for Easter.
I'm with you guys.
Ham is for Easter
an
and
Easter
for Thanksgiving.
We can have this debate over another hour show. But as the host, I'm going to say ham is for Easter, turkey is for Thanksgiving, and we can debate the stuffing versus dressing all day long. But those are rules on this show.
That's right. I mean,
I was going to say, I'm just saying that turkey is a far less superior meat than ham, right, Ethan? Like ham's up here and turkey's like way down here.
It's dry. It makes you tired.
You got to brine it. I mean, you got to brine it before you roast it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just feels like Thanksgiving.
Smoke it, fry it. So many ways you can prepare it.
Yeah, well, That can be a whole nother show, is how we do our turkeys. But Meena, let's go to you last and tell us about your what Thanksgiving means to you.
So my daughter was born on Thanksgiving, so it's always a celebration in our house. And this year she got engaged in June, so we'll have her fiance and her family's coming over. My husband does the turkey, and I do the side dishes because I'm vegetarian. I mostly make tofurkey. I don't know if you know about it. So it's a turkey made of tofu. So I make it, and we play games. We start the day with Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, and we play lots of Monopoly and Scrabble and Spoons and all the games. And that's how it is. And mostly our friends come over to our house, and that's how we celebrate Thanksgiving. So, yeah.
Awesome. Love that. Well, thank you all for sharing. I mean, Thanksgiving obviously is a time to take a step back. Think about what you're grateful for. Think about what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for all of you guys as part of the Frisco Community Difference family. We were reflecting on this earlier in a networking group that I run every Friday, and you just never know when your last tomorrow is. So I always think about, and somebody said it this morning, and I love this, is, we think about all the have-tos and all the have-to-dos in life. And when you switch that perspective and think about and change it to get to, I don't have to do this, I get to do this. And I think Thanksgiving is a good time to flip that script and think about all the things that we may have to do, but remember that we get to do those things, and we get to be with our families on Thanksgiving, and we get to do all those awesome traditions. So I always think about that when I think about Thanksgiving. So on that note, I just want to wrap up and say, again, thank you to all of you guys for being part of this family. It's not just a team, it is a family. And I'm excited about where we're headed.
Yes.
Looking back on the year past, it's been a great ride so far. And I'm excited about where we're going, but we'll take this show to say thank you to all of you for being part of this family. So,
well, and I've got a quick thank you too, Brian. So, this is my last podcast. I'm signing off and giving the reins to somebody else. But I can't thank Lyndon and Nathan and Brian and enough for the hospitality and genuine friendship they showed me, and like I said, it's a great way to expand your footprint and build confidence and relationships and things like that. So I didn't get to podcast with all of you for too long, for about a year, but you got some forces to be reckoned with, and with Jax and Debbie and Ethan taking the lead, and of course with Lauren and Meena. So y'all are in good hands.
Well, we thank you,
Paul. Yes, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride, and it's not your last podcast. It's just the last.
No,
one.
I mean, I'm sure somebody will need a guest, an emergency guest sometime, and all my information's in the hub. So yeah, just sign me on.
Perfect. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Consider it an open
That's
invitation.
right. Rain check, backup guest.
Yeah, well, the door is always open to come back on, Paul, whether it be a guest, another co-host, whatever it is. But you're always part of the Frisco Community Difference family and the Difference family in totality. So we will miss you as a co-host, but we will see you in the future.
Yeah, I'll see you around town. We are all in the same groups on the same part of town, so we'll see each other.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, with that, guys, we are up against it. Thank you again for being on today. It was a pleasure. Just kind of doing a different format and being together as our podcast family, if you will. I wish all of you guys a happy, safe, and fun Thanksgiving, and we'll get back at it after the holiday. Until then, we'll see y'all later. Bye, all.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska with Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher with Certainty Home Lending, Bethany Rowan with the Rowan Realty Group, Tracy Churchman with Best Buddies, Jax Crider with PBJ Mortgage, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Ethan Donovan with the Donovan Creative Agency, Meena Singh, college counselor and prep coach, And by Lauren Gill with my Live, Love, Travel. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.